Good evening. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Words of Albert Einstein. Welcome to BMC English News Live. Myself, Marina Francis, joining you with the news updates. Today's news in detail. New executive committee elected for the Indian Club. Bahrain's oldest expatriate club, the Indian Club, has elected a new executive committee. In the contest, KM Cherian won the presidency with a majority of 22 votes. 8 people were selected from the panel headed by Mr. Cherian. Sani Paul was elected vice president by a majority of 33 votes. Satish Gopinath is the General Secretary with a majority of 106 votes. Gopakumar is the Assistant General Secretary with a majority of 95 votes. Muthukrishnan is the Treasurer with a majority of 53 votes, and Anish Verghese is the Assistant Treasurer with a majority of 128 votes. Ramasamy Senthil is the Entertainment Secretary with a majority of 93 votes. Bijoy Kamrath is the Assistant Entertainment Secretary with a majority of 26 votes. Junit CM is the Badminton Secretary with a majority of 9 votes, and Remy Prasad won the Cricket Secretary post by 12 votes. Arun Jose won unopposed as Indoor Games Secretary. As Tennis Secretary, Dr. MC John won by the highest majority of 208 votes. 3 candidates won from the panel led by Cassius Pereira. Shaji Aluka as the returning officer and Suresh Deshigan and Marcelin Thomas as the polling officers supervised the election process. Call to cut utility bills is rejected. A proposal to slash utility bills for expats and Bahrainis with more than one home has been rejected by the government. Parliament and Shura Council Affairs Minister Ghanim Al Bunain told MPs in writing that such a move was not feasible as it would cost the authorities an additional BD 40 million. He revealed that the government has been setting aside BD 430 million annually to purchase electricity and water from the private sector and to meet the rising demand. Production cost has been increasing on a regular basis, Mr. Al-Buainain pointed out. The government will have to balance its expenditure and revenues, and subsidizing utility bills further will add to the burden, especially at a time when countries are channelizing all resources to tackle the COVID-19 pandemic, he added. IGA Bahrain expanding document delivery services to include private sector. The Information and E-Government Authority is to roll out a new high-speed service to deliver government documents to the general public by collaborating with private courier companies. We'll be back after a very short break.
Every piece of jewelry tells a story. Its raw beauty speaks of its natural origins. The brilliant design speaks of unparalleled craftsmanship. Its elegance evokes the passion and energy of those who wear it. At Al Siraj Jewelry, our story, our pride.
All your favorite products under one roof in Bahrain at 27-year-old Megamart and Macromart. Bakery, fresh meat and fish, fruits and vegetables, sweets and snacks, ready-to-eat foods, dairy products, grocery or consumer goods. To have a wonderful shopping experience, please visit your nearest Megamart Macromart branch. Megamart and Macromart, full of goodness.
Welcome back. We continue with the news we started off prior to the break. IGA Bahrain expanding document delivery services to include private sector. The Information and E-Government Authority is to roll out a new high-speed service to deliver government documents to the general public by collaborating with the private courier companies. Accordingly, IGA customers will have the option to receive documents at their doorsteps within 24 hours or 2 to 3 working days or international delivery. Currently, IGA is delivering documents needed by the public through a collaboration with Bahrain Post, besides providing beneficiaries with the choice of collecting them in person. IGA said it is now considering widening its document delivery service by joining hands with courier services in the private sector. The new service is for delivering government documents to the national portal users, both citizens and residents. The document delivery service will be available with 12 e-services by IGA and the General Directorate of Traffic. IGA has launched a tender inviting interested companies to take up the project. The service complements the current range of online services provided by IGA through various channels including portals, mobile apps and e-kiosks. The move, according to IGA, aims at saving time, energy and costs for both government entities and the general public. New water reserves plan. The government is planning to secure water reserves to confront potential emergencies. Replying to a parliamentary proposal, it said that the reserves would meet needs for up to 6 months. This is based on an assessment of the impact of potential dangers on water supplies in Bahrain. The contingency plan includes strategic water reserves, groundwater, internal and GCC water linkages, and in addition to bottled water and the possibility of importing water in times of emergencies. His Majesty the King's directives to promote human rights praised by Arab Parliament Speaker. Speaker of the Arab Parliament, Adil bin Abdul Rahman Al Asumi, has asserted that the kingdom has attained many widely recognized human rights achievements thanks to His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa's directives. In this regard, he highlighted the package of initiatives adopted by the kingdom to consolidate the human rights principles as a result of His Majesty the King's direct support for the state of law and institutions as confirmed by His Majesty while opening the 4th session of the 5th legislative term. Oil price surge to bolster recovery. Bahrain is set to benefit from a surge in oil prices which hit a 3-year high yesterday, experts have said. Price per barrel climbed above $85 on forecasts of a supply deficit over the next few months, spurred by rising demand due to the easing of COVID-19 travel restrictions. Moving on to the COVID updates in Bahrain. Bahrain yesterday recorded 63 new COVID-19 cases and 66 recoveries. Of the new cases, 19 were expat workers, 36 contacts of local cases and 8 travel related. An additional 66 people recovered. Of the 618 active cases, 7 people are receiving treatment and 4 are in a critical condition. Gulf Air Bahrain Grand Prix confirmed as season opening round of 2022 F1 season. Formula One announced today that the 2022 FIA Formula One World Championship will kick off at Bahrain International Circuit. The Formula One Gulf Air Bahrain Grand Prix 2022 weekend will take place from 18th to 20th March and it will be the first of the 23 rounds in the new season. BIC Chief Executive Sheikh Salman bin Isa Al Khalifa commented, the 2022 F1 season will mark a new era for the sport with new regulations substantially changing major elements of the cars. For us to be given the opportunity to host the first race of this landmark season is a huge honor for us. We thank Formula One and the FIA for entrusting us to once again host race number 1. The announcement comes following the latest meeting of the FIA World Motorsport Council in Paris, which approved the new calendar. It will be the 4th time that the Formula One season will start in Bahrain. Now we shall be back after a very short break.
the exclusive franchisee of Cochin Kala Bhavan in Bahrain, with over a decade of existence in Bahrain. Exclusive online regular classes have started for classical dances, music vocal, instrumental music, cinematic dance, Kathak, Zumba body fitness, karate and yoga, drawing, arts and craft, children's theatre. For more information, please call 3909 6845 3909 4806 38 85 2397 or visit www.bahrainmediacity.com. IMAC, Cochin Kala Bhavan.
Once again, welcome back. Heavy rain and flood in several parts of Kerala. At least 5 people were killed as heavy rain slammed several parts of Kerala today. Landslides have been reported in Kottayam and Idukki districts. 6 districts have been put on red alert and 6 districts on orange alert. A red alert has been issued in Pathanamthitta, Kottayam, Ernakulam, Idukki and Thrissur districts against the backdrop of heavy rains. Meanwhile, landslides have also erupted in Idukki and Pathanamthitta. Former Test stalwart Dravid to be next Indian coach. Former Test cricket stalwart Rahul Dravid is set to succeed Ravi Shastri as India's head coach after the 2020 World Cup, media reports said on Saturday. Shastri, who took up the job in mid-2017, has ruled out seeking an extension after his tenure expires next month with the Showpiece tournament in the United Arab Emirates. Former captain Dravid, who played 164 tests and 344 one-dayers between 1996 and 2012, is credited for India's steady supply of young talent as the head of National Cricket Academy. Russia allows Bahraini citizens to obtain e-visas to enter its territory. The government of the Russian Federation has decided to allow the citizens of the Kingdom of Bahrain to obtain electronic visas to enter the Russian territory. The ambassador of the Kingdom of Bahrain to the Russian Federation, Ahmed Abdul Rahman Al Sati, has revealed. The ambassador said that the Russian Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin had ratified a decision allowing Bahraini citizens to obtain entry visas, and the grace period for Bahraini citizens to stay in the Russian Federation will be increased from 8 to 16 days. He added that the electronic visa will be issued online for tourist, commercial, humanitarian trips and guest visas, and obtaining it will not require official invitations, hotel reservations or any other documents confirming the purpose of the trip as it was in the past. He stated that the visa fee will be $40, while electronic visas will be issued for children under the age of 6 free of charge. Russian decision came shortly after Sweden lifting an entry ban for residents of Bahrain and the UAE. Sweden exempts Bahrain residents from ban. The Swedish government said that they had decided on an amendment to the temporary ban on entry into Sweden. Sweden said they are exempting residents of Bahrain and the United Arab Emirates from the entry ban solely on the basis that they reside there. Other exemptions will also continue to apply to residents of Bahrain and the United Arab Emirates. The Swedish statement said, Bahraini citizens, however, are required to present a negative COVID-19 test result upon entry into Sweden. The decision is in line with the European Council's latest recommendation to the EU member states. The amendment will enter into force on 19th October 2021. Earthquake of magnitude 4.8 strikes Bali, kills 3. An earthquake of magnitude 4.8 struck Indonesia's Bali island on Saturday morning, killing at least 3 people, Indonesia's search and rescue agency said. The quake affected the Karangasem and Bangli districts on the eastern side of the tourist island, and a search has been concluded, the agency said in a statement, but authorities were continuing to monitor the situation. A landslide triggered by the quake killed 2 of the victims, the agency said. A third, a 3-year-old girl, was killed by falling debris. The US Geological Survey USGS said the 4.8 magnitude quake struck off Banjar Wangxian and put its depth at 10 km. All affected by the quake have been evacuated while data on damage is still being collected by Bali's Disaster Mitigation Agency. Search and rescue official Gede Dharmada said in a statement. FDA panel endorses booster shot for J&J COVID-19 vaccine. US health advisors endorsed a booster of Johnson & Johnson's COVID-19 vaccine Friday, citing concern that Americans who got the single-dose shot aren't as protected as those given two-shot brands. The FDA's advisory panel voted unanimously that the booster should be offered at least 2 months after people got their earlier shot. US to lift curbs from November 8th for vaccinated foreign travelers, says White House. The White House on Friday said it will lift COVID-19 travel restrictions for fully vaccinated foreign nationals effective from November 8th, ending historic restrictions they had barred much of the world from entering the United States. Announcing the starting date for the new rules on travel in and out of the country, White House spokesman Kevin Munoz posted on Twitter that the policy is guided by public health, stringent and consistent. Pfizer Biotech asked EU agency to okay vaccine for kids 5 to 11 years. Pharmaceutical company Pfizer and biotechnology company BioNTech said Friday they have requested to have their coronavirus vaccine licensed for children ages 5 to 11 across the European Union. If EU regulators agree, it would be the first opportunity for younger children in Europe to get immunized against COVID-19. Pfizer and BioNTech said they submitted data to the European Medicines Agency, including late-stage results from a study testing their COVID-19 vaccine in more than 2,200 children, ages 6 months to 11 years. The children received a lower dose than what is normally given to adults. NASA probe Lucy blasts off to Jupiter. NASA probe Lucy blasted off on Saturday on a mission to investigate Jupiter's asteroids. Launched with the help of an Atlas V rocket from Cape Canaveral in Florida, Lucy began a 12-year mission that will take it a total of around 6.5 billion kilometers into space. The over 14-meter-long probe, which is powered by fuel and batteries that can be recharged via solar panels, is to fly close to 7 of the so-called Jupiter Trojans. Chinese taikonauts reach space station. China's manned space mission has reached the Tiangong Heavenly Palace space station, which is currently under construction. The 3-man crew reached the space station around 6.5 hours after launching into space, China's manned space flight program announced on Saturday morning. The crew docked at the core module Tianhe at 6:56 a.m. Beijing time on Saturday. The astronauts will live and work there for around 6 months in what will be China's longest space mission by far. With that news, we come to the end of today's news updates. Stay tuned to BMC News Live to stay informed. This is Marina Francis signing off from BMC News Live. Thank you and good night.